What's going on, everybody? This is Warren Dews. You don't see me on the camera, but you know Warren Dews, the publisher of the Ravenna News Herald, the Greenville Pioneer, and the Columbia Paper, and the Upstater. So we're here today. I talk to you all the time about our community conversations program that we do, and we're here today with our we have Meet Your Neighbor, we have Ask the Expert, and this is a Get to Know. And I got my friend over here to is my right, your left, I don't know. Anyway, who are you?
I'm Jesse Sommer, and I own New Scotland Spirits, as the t-shirt insignia probably suggests.
So Jesse has bought a program where he is doing get to knows, and instead of doing it to get to know more about Jesse, which we will, he wants you to know about some of the people that are selling his spirits. So Jesse, introduce your friend, or have your friend introduce themselves.
Well, yeah, Aaron, I'll turn it over to you.
My name is Aaron Flach, and I'm the owner of the James Newbury Hotel and Wire Event Center.
Awesome. So I'm gonna get this thing started. So I met Aaron, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, or something like that. And Aaron owns a couple of businesses, and I was trying to get them to advertise in the paper. They were going to do their car wash in the paper and some other things. And he said yes, and his boss, his wife, she said yes. And so I was trying to find him. I couldn't reach him. He's so busy. So one day we were at a restaurant that he owns the building, and he was having lunch there. It was what's the restaurant? Simone's. Yeah, it was Simone's. So he was at Simone's, and I said, "Hey man, I finally got you." He said, "Hey, what are you doing? You come with me real quick." So I jump in a car with him, and we drive down to Coxsackie to this broken down warehouse, and he says, "I'm going to build a place here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "I'm going to build something here." And we're at that something right now. This place is amazing. So we'll do some pictures and we'll show you some stuff. But, ask the question, because he was explaining his.
Yeah, well, this is what's so kind of interesting. The first thing I will say is that the reason I was psyched to get our New Scotland Spirits into this complex, right? There's the James Newbury Hotel right across the street. There's the Patrick Henry's Waterfront Tavern. Upstairs, I guess there's the Dayline that I've never even seen. I know there's the Wire Convention Center. For me, the thing that was really interesting about where we are at the Coxsackie waterfront is this is in part a fulfillment of our strategy, trying to get New Scotland Spirits and our Helderberg whiskeys down to New York City. Right? We're trying to move southward. We're trying to essentially introduce our products to these communities a little bit further south of the city of Albany. And so to be here, the first thing we thought was geographically, we want people to recognize our brand here. What we didn't realize is that for some reason on the Coxsackie waterfront, all of a sudden there's this like commercial oasis of, if I could use the word, like a really opulent setting here at the James Newbury Hotel.
Well, we appreciate that. So the vision really behind the James Newbury Hotel was we had this gorgeous riverfront and just a spectacular location on the Hudson River, just a pristine natural shoreline and just a beautiful setting. And we took over these old buildings and we determined that the best path forward would really be a hospitality project. And in the past, we typically would take over historic buildings and do adaptive reuse, mostly for apartments.
In Coxsackie?
In Coxsackie, we have properties from Kingston to Hudson, Chatham, different towns along the Hudson Valley, more or less. And I love historic restoration. That's really my forte. So when we got to this property, it was too unique a setting for it to just be enjoyed by 20 or 30 residents, right? So we didn't want to make it a private community. We didn't want to just make it an apartment community with no commercial aspect. So we basically, as we started to work through the Wire, which was really just this old factory building, but
that's the convention center.
Okay. It's got really beautiful wood beam trusses and just amazingly great bones. And there was no nice way to be able to turn that into really anything but an open space event center. And it lent itself to that because of its location on the river, its historic qualities, and literally being right on the waterfront.
Yeah, but how did you know that having a hotel here would be commercially viable? Coxsackie's not exactly on the beaten path.
No, that's absolutely true. So we knew we would need to, if this was going to work, we needed to create a destination. And the hospitality aspect, the hotel, which this building is a 47-room hotel with a
no
rooftop
kidding.
restaurant. And we came to the conclusion that through our feasibility studies and just walking out different ideas, that this would make the most sense, because all of the venue owners and different facilities that we have talked to all struggle with being able to accommodate people on site. So for your typical weddings and that sort of thing, that typically, at least down our way, if they happen in a barn setting or a rural area, a lot of times there's not accommodations.
So if you've got an event at the Wire, for example, the idea is the James Newbury Hotel might provide accommodations for those people.
Absolutely.
But so then, how did you? And forgive me if I'm just so curious about this, but how did you know when you say we were making it a destination? A destination for whom? Who was the clientele? Where are you getting people from when they come to sit at this bar, for example?
Absolutely. So we rely, especially in the wintertime, we rely on our local crew, I would call it. We're, I would say, a community partner, and we definitely get a lot of local people from the capital region, and we get a lot of European travelers that stay at the hotel, and we do get a lot of people from downstate.
What about New Scots from New Scotland? Do people stop by from my digs?
A few here and there. We do get a lot of people from Canada.
No kidding.
And quite a few Europeans.
And let me ask. This is for just because I obviously have the Machiavellian sense of wherever our spirits are. I'm looking towards the bright lights of the city. Do you get New York City folks up here?
100%.
No kidding.
Yeah, and we market specifically to the city for weekend getaway packages. It's such an easy location to get to from the city in that you can take a train to Hudson. We can pick you up. In the summertime, we're going to run a ferry service back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've already got plans in place to bring people up there.
If I may, you've and thank you. You have very prominently displayed our spirits right on the front of the bar. In fact, Warren, you at some point might want to get a picture to show how clearly emphasized we are. I guess I'm grateful for it, but I didn't ask for it. What made you guys want to so prominently highlight these delicious Helderberg bourbons?
Well, a big part of this development is our connections to the local community and our connections to the history of the area. So it was very important to us to incorporate the old bricks and the old glass blocks in the bars and locally sourced trees and that sort of thing that we've made into our bar tops and shelves. And so in a lot of ways, that's important to me because that's what makes this different than your average corporate location. We wanted it to be unique and different and someplace that people would want to come visit because it's different. And what we really pride ourselves on, and a big part of our vision, is using and working with local vendors, locally made products, and New Scotland Spirits fit right in with the plan. And we love to work with our local vendors, and that's really a key factor.
So one thing I'll just say, because I have not had an opportunity, I know my partner Rosemary, who's kind of the captain of the Charm Squad, Warren, I know that she's spoken with folks. I haven't got this opportunity to express my gratitude. One thing I wanted specifically to say is it is almost bizarre how easy you made it for us. My role in this company is largely to just be the battering ram and the persistence of trying to get in to different retailers. And you so unrolled the red carpet for us, getting us into all of these different places, your partners in these areas, and giving us almost immediate quote-unquote commercial ownership of Coxsackie as a community for patrons of our spirits, that I almost wondered, what's the catch here? What's actually going on? It really does, it makes it really easy for a startup when having to figure out where you're putting these limited resources. The more you have to put into, for lack of a better word, nagging retailers to give you a shot, that's where it can kind of wear an enterprise down. And a place like this, I don't know why you guys have so wonderfully taken us under your wing, but it has a tangible impact on the local people that I'm able to employ, and the local ingredients that we're able to use. Those are all more expensive, but the more you kind of streamline the fact that we have a clientele that's buying our spirits here, as you can see, and getting that brand exposure. I mean, you've measurably helped the company beyond just the fact that you're a customer.
Well, Jesse, I gotta say, we're just as thankful because our guests at this hotel, and really throughout the complex, are people that are interested in things that are unique and different. And anytime we talk about locally sourced products, local vendors, employing local people, all of those things mean something to our guests. And it means something to our local community, as well as people that travel here from a distance, because they're here to experience something different.
Like we gave him a script. I'll drink to that, sir. Thank you so much, Aaron. I really appreciate your time today.
No, this is not fair. I'm not drinking anything.
I would. Oh my God. Forgive me for being so classless.
It's okay. It's okay. But no, this is amazing. So one of the things I wanted to add to this is just how we're a really good community with each other. You know, I'm a newspaper, a media person here trying to make sure that people come in and use your hotel, use the convention center, buy your stuff. The other day we were at Rail to River.
Lovely.
And so just really quick talk about that, because he's locally here and you're both use things that are local. Explain that piece of it.
I mean, to the extent that I have a business, and it's one of the reasons that we're doing this program where it's like, why sit here and just talk about New Scotland Spirits? What New Scotland Spirits derives from is my town of New Scotland, right? The sense of home and place. That's the driving kind of mission behind the company. But New Scotland Spirits as a business is just a function of where our tentacles reach to the on-site and off-site premises locations, a New York State Liquor Authority designation that allows us to sell these spirits. So, like when we were at Rail to River, that's someone who makes our company a company. Without those points of sale, we wouldn't be a company. We'd be basically drug runners making alcohol and then just selling it illegally. You guys allow this to be a business. So when we come down here, it's not just that yet here we have another point of sale, another access point for customers to buy what it is that we make with our local ingredients. It's that you're introducing us to a new community. And the more people who become aware of New Scotland Spirits, that allows us to further fulfill the mission that drives the company, right? Which is supporting local causes. I think we talked about at one point last year, we supported 23 different nonprofits. We have hired and paid, it's certainly over 20 locally hired staffers, workers, etc. All that is because we have a business model that is dependent on people who are giving us a chance day by day. So it's not just that we are made with local ingredients, it's that we are made locally for our local communities. And our idea is to expand the sense of what the local community is. Started off being New Scotland, expanded to Albany County. Now it's wonderful to think that New Scotland Spirits is the whiskey or the vodka of the Capital District. That's what's exciting about it for me.
How many people do you employ here?
38 full-time people.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yep. And with our guests from all over, both from downstate and Capital Region, we want to expose more people to New Scotland Spirits.
Cool.
You're mad, dude.
Let's drink to that.
So switching gears as we wrap this up.
Oh, I'm just getting warmed up.
We have an event called Top 5, and we're doing. We did it last year. We were looking for the top 5 change makers in the market. Top 5 women, top 5 BIPOC, which is Black Indigenous people of color, top 5 youth, and top 5 businesses. Last year, I call her your boss, but your wife. Your wife was one of the winners, and she's an amazing person, and so she won. So we're doing the event again this year here at the Wire, and so both of you are sponsors of that.
Of course,
So my question to you is, both of you, why are you sponsoring something like that? Why is that important to you?
I'll let you go first, Aaron.
Well, for me, sponsoring that type of event is important, number one, to recognize local talent and to really highlight the people that are making a difference. I was honored that my wife was an award recipient last year, but it's just great to, and I think the people that get nominated really appreciate the recognition. It's not that they do it for the recognition, but it's just nice to let them know that they're appreciated, and I think it means a lot, from the businesses to all the different categories. And the event was wonderful last year, and I'm super excited to participate again this year.
Our company has hired persons of color. We have hired women. We have hired youth. Some of whom, believe it or not, are not insufferably annoying, although, as my team knows, I can't stand those Gen Z and their work ethic. They have no problem letting me know that I obviously am completely out of touch. The point is that those demographics represent the people that have made this business what it is. I like to be the most conspicuous person because my intention, my need for attention is insatiable, but really the company is a function of all of the different people who come together to work as a team. So being able to see an event like this where you are looking at members of the community who have had tangible impacts, they've punched above their weight, so to speak, whether they be women, whether they be persons of color, whether they be business owners, entrepreneurs, etc., or whether they be youth, right? Leaders who will, make an impact today and make an impact tomorrow. That kind of is the mission of the company. I wish I could say that New Scotland Spirits was oriented towards global climate change. I wish I could say that. That's not what we're about. What we're more about is looking at the community as kind of that's our bread and butter. That's our mission. And so when you have an event like this, you have given us an opportunity to emphasize that the community is our corporate focus.
Awesome. So thanks for this, man. I really appreciate this.
Thank you, Warren. As always, once again, Warren, we'll make sure we make it up to you with a glass at the Newbury Hotel.
So once again, everybody, this is Warren Dews. This is our community conversations, and this is the Get to Know. Tomorrow, actually, you'll probably see it. Tomorrow, I'm interviewing the Reverend Booth, the husband and wife, previous pastors of a church in Bequeemans. Yes.
Wonderful people.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking to them tomorrow. But this is what we do, y'all. We're a local media, local company, local newspaper, online and print, and our job is to bring people together. And so hopefully this does that. So I thank both of you.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Warren.